A game for those who seek to find a way to leave their world behind. Jumanji.
Jumanji 4 is on the way, according to a number of cast and staff members from Jumanji: The Next Level. Here's what we know about the upcoming movie. The first person to allude to connections between the third and fourth films was Dwayne Johnson. In March 2020, Kasdan continued to affirm that the film was still in development. Producer Hiram Garcia had stated in November 2022 that the film would start production shortly, but that information has since been disproven. Jumanji 4 has not been cancelled as of March 2024, but no progress has been made either. Who is returning for the next movie? According to Kasdan, Jumanji 4's cast will include returning actors from the first two films. Among them are Jack Black as Professor Sheldon Oberon, Karen Gillan as Ruby Roundhouse, Kevin Hart as Franklin Finbar, and Dwayne Johnson as Dr. Xander Bravestone. Their younger heroes: Alex Wolff as Spencer Gilfin, Sir Darius Blaine as Anthony Johnson, Madison Eisman as Bethany Walker, and Morgan Turner as Martha Copley, who became engrossed in the game, are also probably going to return. Dwayne Johnson will play Dr. Xander Bravestone, Kevin Hart will play Franklin Finbar, Jack Black will play Professor Sheldon Oberon, Karen Gillan will play Ruby Roundhouse, Alex Wolff will play Spencer Gilpin, Sir Darius Blaine will play Anthony Johnson, Madison Eisman will play Bethany Walker, and Morgan Turner will play Martha Copley. So what about the story details? What will happen in Jumanji Season 4? Though the basic idea of the new film Jumanji 4 is simple to establish, there are currently no hints regarding plot details. Joe Johnston directed the first Jumanji film, which starred Robin Williams as Alan Parrish. After a poor role, Alan finds a strange-looking board game and gets sucked into a dangerous jungle realm. By making Jumanji into a video game, Kasdan's Jumanji: Welcome to the Jungle updated this concept. Jumanji: The Next Level's mid-credit scene provides a clear setup for Jumanji 4 as the game releases some of the jungle's animals into the real world. This last part is particularly interesting since if animals have escaped the game, then the characters can too, including the avatars. Dwayne Johnson had plans for the franchise in the third movie as he teased that Jumanji: The Next Level's villainous Jurgen the Brutal was an avatar and the true villain behind him would be revealed in Jumanji 4. Fans are anxious for information on the franchise's future after Karen Gillan said in a recent interview that the development of Jumanji 4 was delayed for a long time. The Jumanji series, partially based on the renowned children's book by Chris Van Allsburg, was resurrected over 5 years ago, and since then, it has captured audiences' attention with its exciting adventures into a dangerous and mystical jungle world. Later, sequels have transitioned from board games to video games. Although starring a stellar cast that includes Jack Black, Dwayne Johnson, Kevin Hart, and Karen Gillan, the eagerly awaited fourth sequel has not advanced past the third installment's 2019 release. In a recent interview with The Hollywood Reporter, Gillan talked about her part in the thriller Sleeping Dogs, starring Russell Crowe, and answered questions concerning the elusive Jumanji 4. Gillan, in a typically humorous fashion, deftly shifted the blame for the delay, emphasizing that scheduling issues were the main roadblock to advancement. Gillan underlined the uncertainties around the project's timescale for the completion, even as she expressed the cast's unwavering passion for it. The lengthy delay in Jumanji 4's production raises questions about how profitable the series will remain in the future. Gillan's acknowledgement of scheduling issues, specifically regarding the availability of the 4 key actors, highlights the practical obstacles preventing progress. Johnson, Hart, Black, and Gillan have other commitments to attend to, complicating matters further when it comes to scheduling their hectic schedules for the Jumanji sequel. According to a Screen Rant report, the extended pause between episodes threatens the franchise's survival. Gillan's comments allude to the possible consequences of the postponement, specifically regarding maintaining the engagement and enthusiasm of the younger actors. The actors' chances of returning for more Jumanji films are dwindling as they take on various projects outside of the franchise, such as independent filmmaking endeavors. Concerns about the brand's future are further heightened by previous statements made by Kevin Hart regarding the creation of Jumanji 4. Hart's conversations with Johnson on their last joint venture imply that the protracted postponement could indicate the end of their joint venture on the Jumanji franchise. While Gillan reiterates the cat's fondness for the franchise, the extended gap between releases prompts speculation about the fourth movie's potential role as a grand finale. As the fourth film in the Jumanji franchise, how does Jumanji: The Next Level stack up against the others? A children's picture book that first appeared in 1981 has evolved into a legitimate franchise that has given rise to 4 movies since 1995 and an animated TV show that aired in the late 1990s. Along the way, the first 3 movies received a surprising amount of positive reviews and amassed a cumulative global box office revenue of over $1 billion over 3 decades. Judy and Peter Shepard are first mentioned in the original Chris Van Allsburg book. they got into a game called Jumanji and are transported there, complete with real-life creatures. While every succeeding picture took the basic idea and gave it a fresh new twist, the original movie, Jumanji, stuck closely to the book. In order to achieve enormous success with Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle, and Jumanji The Next Level, the franchise most recently used a big-budget action comedy formula, booking actors Kevin Hart, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, and Jack Black. Now that Dwayne Johnson and the company have released 4 official pictures, the franchise appears to be taking off, therefore it's time to reevaluate the films. From worst to greatest, these are the Jumanji movies. Jumanji, which at the time was highly praised for its visual effects, became a sleeper hit, much like the more current release Welcome to the Jungle. The filmmaker Joe Johnston, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, Jurassic Park 3, did a fantastic job of bringing the scenery and animals from the game to life, so they really were spectacular. However, the plot was very grim for a children's film, and the writing took an unusual method to deal with the trauma the game's protagonists experienced. The first Jumanji movie isn't the best one since it was difficult to keep a consistent tone throughout, something that the other movies accomplished much better. Despite having no obvious connection to Jumanji, Zathura, A Space Adventure is regarded as a second movie in the Jumanji series because Chris Van Allsburg's children's book Zathura was a follow-up to the first book. Even though the trailer states that it is from the world of Jumanji, director Jon Favreau has denied the film's connection to the original. A young Josh Hutcherson and Kristen Stewart are among the cast members under Favreau's direction when they discover the Zathura game in their home, which, like Jumanji, comes to life while they play. But instead of monkeys and elephants, this time it's a space adventure with meteors and aliens. With a budget of $65 million, almost the same as Jumanji, which made $262 million 10 years prior, Zathura undoubtedly performed the worst at the box office of the Jumanji franchise. Yet, taken as a whole, the film is superior. The plot is at a better level, and the spectacular effects are still excellent. It offers humor and thrills without straying into the occasional dark zone that its predecessor explored. Even though Robin Williams isn't there, kids and adults alike find the experience to be generally more entertaining. All the qualities that made the popular 2017 reboot of the brand superior to the first 2 movies were present in Jumanji The Next Level, including humor, a clever storyline, and a cast with real chemistry. The sequel begins a year after the events of Welcome to the Jungle, with the high school students preparing to reunite a year after they triumphed over Jumanji. The N64 version of the game is now regarded as a relic. Kevin Hart, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, Jack Black, and Karen Gillan all make a return as the game's avatars, but now they represent different characters. Hart represents Eddie's old friend Milo, Danny Glover. Johnson represents Eddie Gilpin, the grandfather of the original main character Spencer, which is Danny DeVito, and Black represents high school jock Fridge. Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle, which debuted in 2017 and unexpectedly made about $1 billion at the box office globally, was an enormous smash. The 2017 remake of the movie, which was released 22 years after the original, centers on 4 high school kids who, upon meeting in detention, find themselves inside the Jumanji video game. Once inside, they are given avatars that don't fit their personalities. The jock becomes a short zoologist, played by Kevin Hart. The shy girl becomes a fierce warrior, played by Karen Gillan. The popular girl becomes an overweight male cartographer, played by Jack Black. And the nerdy kid becomes a strong explorer with no weaknesses, Dwayne Johnson. Now that the 4th film is confirmed, let's hope it will be as good as the first one. That's all for now. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video and found it informative, don't forget to hit that like button below. And if you want to stay updated with more great content like this, make sure to subscribe to our channel by clicking the red button and ringing the notification bell so you never miss any future content from us.